I see Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I think Sky High. I don't know why that's where my brain goes, but I love that movie.
Who's strong?
He's super strong.
What is up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to my channel. Kate is the brand new movie dropping on the platform on September 10th. Today we're going to talk about it spoiler-free in this video, so if you guys enjoy this review, let me know. And did you enjoy Kate? So meticulous and naturally skilled, Kate is the perfect specimen of a finely tuned assassin at the height of her game. But when she uncharacteristically blows an assignment targeting a member of the yakuza in Tokyo, she quickly discovers she has been poisoned, a brutally slow execution that gives her less than 24 hours to exact revenge on her killers. And Kate, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, is suffering from a deteriorating body as this movie progresses, but at the beginning of the movie, she starts to form this bond with the teenage girl of one of her past victims. But like all movies in this vein, there are secrets between the two that are very integral as to the development of where their relationship goes and where this story goes in general. You also have someone like a Woody Harrelson. He plays someone very close to Kate. Those are the stars of note here. But let's start with Kate herself and the fact that Mary Elizabeth Winstead, if you were dying to watch this film, and it isn't the highest of recommendations from me, but she is the reason to watch this movie. Not only is she believable as this action hero, but she is incredible when it comes to her physicality. We know she can act. We've seen it before. I saw it in Sky High.
He's super strong.
I need to shut up about that movie, but her physicality is great. It looked like she did most of her stunts, and that's really impressive. And like I always say, we've seen these John Wick-esque movies before. We got Gunpowder Milkshake earlier this year, movies like Atomic Blonde, and plenty others that I'm sure I'm forgetting. Protégé came out recently. I didn't get to see that film, at least yet, but they're all extremely similar feeling. But what works for the movies at the end of the day, if it's handled correctly, and not all of them have done that, are the action scenes, right? As long as you have decent cinematography and solid choreography, then you can give us entertainment. And this movie does that for sure. I like the backdrop of the yakuza fighting in Tokyo. You get some incredible looking neon feeling set pieces, and then the fight scenes themselves, choreography wise, are really impressive. So from that standpoint, and looking at her physicality within her performance, but then her actual performance, not necessarily certain things about the character that could have been fleshed out better, but her performance is solid. And then you look at the supporting cast here. Woody Harrelson, who plays a character that we've seen before, and my big issue with this character is the fact that you could kind of see where that was going to go. So if you have a hunch at the beginning of the movie, I don't know what it is because I'm not watching the movie with you, but you're probably right. So know that you're smart. But then you have the character of Annie, who I will admit at the beginning of this movie just wasn't working all that well for me. I get it. The goal of this character is to come across as annoying, and I do not put this on the performance. I put it more so on the writing, but there is an arc to be had with this character where you learn a lot, you learn your lesson, and then at the end of the movie, you're faced with repercussions from your actions, absolutely, but there also should be something more there. You should learn something at the end of the day. And I just don't know if this character was able to do that. She showcases a lot of pain because of her backstory, which plays an integral part to the story as a whole. But it feels like her development doesn't really go anywhere when you hit certain moments in that third act. And it's almost like they forget certain things they're setting up for her at the beginning later on in the movie. So I just had a lot of problems. Again, not with the chemistry necessarily, not really with the relationship. Some of the back and forth felt a bit forced, but I put that on the script more so than I put that on the actual acting. That character is a heavy focus of the film. So if you're not invested there, well, then it may not necessarily work for you. And then you have the investment in Kate. And Kate is entertaining. I liked aspects of her backstory, but they keep trying to throw flashbacks at us. And flashbacks work, absolutely, but, and I'm going to do it, I'm going to make the comparison like I know everyone and their grandmother is in their reviews, but you look at a movie like John Wick and the way that it handled that backstory, not only that backstory, but building up lore with this world that made us want another film in the universe. And then you look at Kate, and the world itself is interesting, but the world building is not all the way there. So I wasn't really invested in the lore of where Kate came from as much as the movie wanted me to be. And then you get this showdown, this battle of sorts at the end, and the turns that certain characters take later on. But certain things about characters, like the flashbacks throughout the movie, they feel thrown in. So by the time you get to the end, there's not a lot of emotional investment. There's enjoyment, right? I love throwing on an action movie and, seeing some of those fight scenes play out. Sure, that's fun, that's entertaining, and I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but the story was my main problem here, and the story just wasn't that compelling. Oh, and I also can't forget, there is a car chase in this film, and I don't want to be too harsh because I've seen worse-looking car chases, CGI and whatnot, but it didn't look great. And I'll leave it at that. So before I give you guys my score, I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop your thumbs up down below. Kate features the atmosphere and lead performance necessary to start a franchise, but the story itself feels too underdeveloped to get invested in. My score is a 47%, just the way that it all came together. There's entertainment, like I said, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she's clearly the highlight here. So what is your favorite performance from her? I really liked her as Huntress in Birds of Prey, and also, guess what? Sky High.
He's super strong.
I'm not going to shut up about that. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Are you watching Kate on Netflix this weekend? It's definitely not the worst watch, but we're going to be covering everything else coming later today. Lucifer, Season 6. We're going to talk about it. I'll see you soon.